If you want to learn how to grow big, beautiful lettuce just like this in a red solo cup with a 2-inch net cup sticking out the bottom, just keep watching this video and we'll show you how.
Okay, this is a 4-inch drain pipe, just a scrap piece of 4-inch I had. Drilled 2 3/4-inch holes in it, some 2x4s and some plumber's tape, and held it down. Just cut out the 2x4s with a jigsaw to match the contour of the pipe. Made little saddles and set it in there. It's simple, easy. There's net cups. You can grow in net cups. I'd like to transfer them into the solo cups because they got more soil. But you could grow straight in the net cups in this 4-inch one. And then filling it, I fill it through there, but you don't have to. You could just lift this out and fill in them. As you can see, there's the 2-inch net cup on the bottom of the solo cup. You can see right there the water level hole is 2 inches. That's all the more you want. That upper hole is the hole I started with first, and it flooded out the roots too much. So you only want 2 inches of water in this 4-inch pipe. You don't have to have the filler on the end like that. Just lift one of the cups out and fill it that way. It's real simple. I did that because I just was still figuring this thing out. I still am. Don't know for sure what I'm doing. It's all an experiment. But I've already grown a whole bunch in this, as you'll see in some of these pictures I'll show you right now. And as you can see in those pictures, this thing works really well. So just a 4-inch piece of drain pipe, a couple of caps, some net cups, solo cups with net cups in the bottom of them, some potting mix that's been, I actually filtered or screened the potting mix through a 1/4-inch screen to get all the big chunks out of it. And if you can, add a little more perlite to it and a little bit of cocoa mix, cocoa core, but if you don't have those things, just use the potting mix like it is. It'll work. Okay, I want to show you how to make your solo cup into a mini grow bucket. So these are just a red solo cup, and what I did was this is a piece of actual chain link fence pipe. Let's see if I can show you the size of it. It's 1 7/8 on the outside. And what I did was I ground this out in here so that this is sharp. Not the outside. You want to leave the outside where it is. I don't know if you can see that in there, how I've ground that out and sharpened that edge. But you take a 2x4, you place your solo cup there, and you don't have to use this big a hammer. But you center this, which is kind of the hard part. You get this centered in there exactly, and then you see how that's cut that out? Nice and even. And there's the bottom of it. And that's how I do it, because I got a lot to do. And then the 2-inch net cup slips right down inside of here. And I'll show you in a second here how I put the holes in here. It's the same way I do the cottage cheese container for the grow buckets. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, I want to show you the difference in your solo cups. It's not really a problem, but you got to make sure that this net cup gets down into the water at least halfway. You want at least half this net cup, 2-inch net cup in the bottom here, in your water source all the time. So this one here that's got the wavy sides, it fits all the way down in pretty good. Still held up a little bit, but the main part of it's down in there. You can see this one here, it don't fit down near as far, but it would still work. And then the blue one, it don't fit down hardly at all. So whatever net cup you use, the main thing is that you get it so that this is in the water source. And then for the holes, all I do is I use a 1/2 inch soldering iron and I burn my holes in there. I burn 3 of them and then 2 of them, just like the cottage cheese cartons and just like the 5-gallon air purge buckets, so that it looks like that all the way around. Now if you don't have your 1/2 inch soldering iron, that's okay. You can come up with another way. Here's a bolt about the same size as a soldering iron. All you'd have to do is heat that up here and you could poke the holes in there that same way. So there's some way you can figure out how to make the holes. Drilling doesn't work. It'll just crack and shatter. It doesn't work. Now you might be able to use a taper drill bit. I haven't tried that, but I still the burning the holes is the best way. So that's how you make your little grow cups for the grow pipes. Grow your lettuce and your smaller stuff in. Okay, here's the 4-inch drain pipe, and it's just a scrap piece I had left over, 51.5. The holes are 8.5 on center, and these are 2 3/4 inch holes. And again, they use the solo cup with the 2-inch net cup, and they fit down in there a lot better than in the 3-inch, but the 3-inch pipe works good too. You can watch the A-frame video how I built those, but this is a good stable unit. Holds everything well. Nothing's going to move around no matter how tall your lettuce gets. So it works well. I've already grown lettuce in this. I'll show you the picture of that. And you don't have to add this. I've made this just to fill easy, but basically all you have to do is, if you got something in this hole here, lift it out, fill it up till it runs out that hole, and put it back in. So you really can just cap off both ends, but in one end you want to put a hole 2 inches on center up. I had one a little bit higher and it flooded out the net cups. You only want your water to come up to about that line right there. Only about halfway up your net cup do you want the water. If the water comes all the way up into the solo cup, it ends up flooding this out too much. That's the other reason I've added the holes. Now some potting mix might go through that holes, but if you have cocoa coir in it, it shouldn't come out of the holes. And if it does, then you could line this with your liner. This right here is one of the net cups I've already used a couple times. And all I do is, it's a 2-inch net cup. You can see how dirty it is. There's still roots growing through this. This is a 6x6 piece of landscape fabric. Simply place the net cup in the middle of that, fold it up, and you stick it down through there, and pull it down all the way down in, all the way around, and that's what it looks like. Fill that full of your potting mix, nice and tight. And like I said, I like to add a little bit of cocoa coir and a little bit of perlite to my mix for this. All the ones I've done to this point, though, I've just used potting mix, my own mix, but still just potting mix. Stick it in there, transplant your lettuce or whatever into here. Keep that water level till it runs out that hole. Every couple weeks, week and a half, mix up a half of a strength of Miracle Grow and put in there. If you put full strength, you can. See how that works for you. You don't want to over fertilize, but you want to give them some fertilizer. So mix up some Miracle Grow and put in here every so often, and that'll keep them going. And the dirt that's in here is just a minimal amount of nutrients that they're going to need. So they're going to need some kind of liquid fertilizer. That's all you got to do. Build your 4-inch grow pipe. 2x4 just notched out with a jigsaw. Plumber's tape and some wood screws or some screws just to hold it there. Keep it from spinning. That's all you do. These are 16 inches long, I think. Something like that. Oh, these are 20 inches long. I take that back. 16 would work. Whatever scrap pieces of lumber you have around. Just make up something that works for you. The main thing is make something grow. So, hope it works for you. And we'll see you next time. God bless.